Hey guys, we're back bringing you another Overwatch match tonight. This is the final of the DGL Amber Showdown. This means that some of the best teams that we've seen to date are coming together yet again to put on another great performance and try and take home that last remaining spot. And even though it doesn't count for all that much in the sense that they still have to win in the Community Shield to get a spot at the LAN, nevertheless, these two teams have been vying it out for quite some time as to who's going to be looking at that sort of second spot in the South African roster. And yeah, it's damage control against Noobs. And we've been known to cost quite a few Noobs games of late. It's just how the dice seems to be rolling at the moment. But yeah, these are two top quality teams. So no doubt, regardless of the circumstances, going to be a great match tonight. And as always, bringing you the action with me tonight, Flaz.
Yep, here I am. And actually, this we've got something special for you guys. We don't normally get to see this, but it looks like the bans are underway. You can see here on the bottom screen. So at the moment, Hanamura, Ilios, Iconvelt, and Sky have all been banned. So now we're down to, I believe there's 3 more maps left in the pool. Yeah, which are the 3 maps they're going to play. So it looks like they're playing first on Lijiang Tower. The other 2 maps on the map pool, I believe. I'm not actually sure what the other maps are on the map pool. I know one's Hollywood, I think. And then
oh boy, it's not often we get to cast control maps, eh?
Yeah, so Lijiang is going to be exciting. No 2 CP this week, though. We've got Volsky and Hanamura out.
Yeah, so it's quite interesting. I think damage control will be feeling okay to leave something like Lijiang in. I know they did play it against Ecstasy recently to get into the finals, the match that they ended up winning 2-0. So clearly feeling quite comfortable on a pick like that. I would say, though, when you're going up against Noobs, you're going to have a much tougher opposition in terms of brawling power, just raw DPS, especially with that. I don't know if Light is back playing it, but still, the likes of Leica Luke, and we saw on those maps, or even sort of like a King's Row, not necessarily only control maps, but such Fab rocking out with his Widowmaker, and we always hope for a good Genji versus Genji match, but maybe we'll see some Widowmaker action as well.
Yeah, and it does look like Light is playing, and Sheep as well is missing from the lobby currently. But I think that's because whoever's the party leader has put us in the wrong slot. I'm not actually going to be playing. Yep, there we go. Scopes and I have been moved to spectator slot. So hopefully now, I mean, this might be one of the quicker entries into this, but hopefully it looks like we might be able to jump straight into the game, which is super exciting. We don't have to sit here stalling for another 20 or so minutes, as both teams are already, I believe.
One thing also to mention, the last time we casted Noobs, they didn't look quite as clinical as before, but one thing to note there, that Sheep wasn't playing, if I remember correctly, and
no, he wasn't.
So I think he is often a big part of their shot calling. So now that he's back, this is sort of their like powerhouse lineup, and I expect them to be a bit more clinical given that. But it's interesting that they've chosen to go back to their more like sort of international heavy roster when they said they've been wanting to practice their local roster. Maybe they just couldn't get all the same players as last time.
Yes, it's true. I think they've just been trying around and sorting out what they're doing. It does look like the first map. Like we said, sorry, we got a little bit drawn aside there. I was wrong. It's not Hollywood. It was King's Row as the map left. I knew it was either Hollywood or King's Row. Those are the two that are always sitting around here. Anyway, it looks like the first map is going to be Lijiang Tower, which they're getting set up now, and then King's Row, and then Gibraltar. Now, I don't think we've ever casted a Noobs game on Control Point. I know we've casted other teams, but Noobs is going to be different. DC, I'm not quite sure how they... In terms of, like, in Brawling, like you said earlier, there's definitely, I think, a slight sway to the side of Noobs. They have some fantastic DPS players. But then again, players like SuchFab have been known to shut... I mean, when he picks Hog, he can shut down a good Genji. He can shut down a Tracer who's out of place, although you don't often see a Tracer from the side of Noobs. So I think this might be a similar case to what we saw when Noobs upset DC a while ago. I mean, sorry, not DC. When Noobs upset Eden a while ago, where Eden just thought they were in such a high position because of their outstanding DPS players that they didn't quite expect, you know, the shutdown to come from them. But we could be seeing this again.
Yeah, so like I agree, they have the raw skill on some of their individual players to be able to take on Noobs' lineup, but whether they're able to pull that off consistently remains to be seen. I would describe Damage Control's playstyle as more of a loose one, and relying on some of these players like SuchFab to really go off, as you hinted at. But whether that's enough to overcome the skill of Noobs, who are both adept at the sort of the individual players as well as the teamwork, we'll have to see. And it's really, it's going to be a little unforgiving if they don't get it right at the start here, because we know how quickly control maps like Lijiang can turn, can slip from your grasp.
Yeah, very much so. And this is quite interesting, the side here coming out from Noobs. It looks like we've got Grifflets on DPS, which is not something you always see. Like a Luke, not like a Luke. Oh, no, never mind. It does look like they're just changing up. They're just tricking us a little bit.
They love to troll us at the start.
Yeah, very much so. Ninefo. Oh, no, actually, he is going to come out on DPS. So is Grifflet. So this is going to be very exciting for us. We're going to see something completely different. Whereas the side of Damage Control, like we said, SuchFab on his Roadhog, he's going to be there to suck down the DPS players. So I think the players we need to be watching tonight. So there you go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, damage control was a bit more of a static lineup with that triple tank as well as the soldier and the Zen, so they're a bit vulnerable to this sort of greater mobility that's on the side of Noobs, and really it's going to come down to how well they can respond to those very quick bursts of aggression. See Nyanfa on the Tracer, Light on the Genji, so they're already proving some trouble getting right up in the faces of damage control.
Yeah, very much so. This triple DPS is going to be something very scary to go up against, especially when the DPS are as good as those on the side of Noobs. Sideman's going to have a lot on his back here to make sure he can get in.
Look at that, Light's ulti is ready.
Pick there onto the soldier as well, and Light now right in the back line. He's got his ult. It doesn't look like he's going to need it, although this huge hook there from Such5 shutting him down. That does lead to 3 tanks and Zenyatta there in the back. But I'm not quite sure if this is going to be enough. I mean, if I were them, I'd definitely be backing out. 3 vs 6 is never or 3 vs 5 actually is never a fight you're going to win.
Unfortunately, that hook at the end was pretty much just a consolation prize. It didn't really open many doors for them because they'd already lost a few players on their side before the fight had really begun.
You can see the sneaky positioning here for Leica Luke setting up above them now, dropping down, and it doesn't look like he's going to get exactly what he wanted. He does come for the tactical visor here from Griff, although he gets shut down almost very quickly. Such5, huge hook onto NLT, shutting him down. This could be what they need to take it back. And here comes the ult from Such5, pushing them off the point, and there we go. That's the point ticks over, and they're going to take it. Light, I'm not sure if that was the best idea, mates, as he gets taken down there by Hog and Griff. Reinhardt, he does say there, lol. He knows the mistake he made.
He tried to hang on to that Dragon Blade for so long because I think he thought he could get the other kills initially much quicker, and he ended up taking quite long to dispatch with the Zenyatta of Pac-Man.
Yeah.
So that time wasted really cost him because he could have been dealing with all the rest of the heroes that were on the point.
Now, it does look like they were trying to take a sneaky high ground take here, although they have been spotted by the Winston. Very well played there by Dark, managing to catch them out. And the Zen ults are now coming out early as well. Nyanfa doing huge work on this Tracer. He needs to be shutting down Such5 though, and I mean with these shields up in place. Although there we go, that is the proof that they need. Nyanfa retreating out now. Such5 actually just doing so much work and staying alive on the point, although as I say that Caster's Curse, he gets taken down there by Grifflet. He's now going to be wanting to focus Dark, he's switching tanks. And could this be the take back? I think it is. It's just the tanks left on live. Although, I mean, Dark does manage to get a pick there. A DPS pick as well, which is huge. Cyberman now coming in, he's going to be focusing Light. And
Zilot pretty much just swinging for minutes on end on the point, unable to get any value.
And here comes the ult here from Zolda Cyberman. Oh, the Tracer Bomb missing him, but managing to get Dark. I think Dark sacrificed himself there to keep the Soldier ult going. Cyberman, though, not quite getting the worth he wants. NLT, I think, a little bit out of position there. I mean, this is actually fantastic for the side here of damage control. They're doing a very good job of just sort of staying on the point, and they're picking them off one by one, not letting them get in their way. Light again, taken down before he can use his ult. This is huge. And looks like they're going to be forced to be pushed off the point yet again.
Yeah, some good decision making from them. They weren't overly aggressive towards the end of this fight, and they just kept that tick going over and over till overtime. And it looks like it's going to go their way.
And Light is going to try one more time. Can he get it? He manages to get Cyberman, although the Zen ult's going to prevent him from getting any more, and I think that's where we call it. I mean, Nyanfa can get on the point, but they just don't have the ults they need to take this. All Z-Lord has to do is keep swinging. He can push them. Soldier ult here from Griff might be useful. No, as he gets taken down instantly by Monkey. And I think that's going to be a hold there for the side of damage control.
Yeah, I really like their playstyle there. I mean, the initial engagements looked a bit scrappy from both sides. And I think just as time went on and damage control found their footing, they started to work well with each other around that point. Tanks just soaking up all the damage in the middle. And yeah, Z-Lord just wasn't really punished for how aggressive he was staying on that point. He was quite a thorn in Noobs' side, even though it didn't look like he was doing very much damage. He held that point for so long, and Noobs were, I think, struggling a little bit to really focus down targets one-on-one. I think they're going to have to work on their target prioritization a little bit as we head into this next round.
Yes, I very much agree. I'm surprised actually that they haven't switched back to the somewhat more normal lineup where we don't see Grifflets and whatever on the DPS, although it actually does look like they're requesting a pause here. I'm not quite sure what the issue is, obviously a connection issue or something. I'm pretty sure Nyanfer was the owner of the lobby.
He alt-tabbed?
There we go,
Okay.
it's paused. This is
And
interesting.
Blizzard thinks we're still playing. Sound going on our screens.
Yeah, I can still...
Okay, so that's going to make things a bit different now because we're not really going to have the opening engagement of people going for picks. We pretty much, everyone just has to run towards the point now. But before we get going again, quickly, I see that Cyberman back on that Pharaoh. We saw him last time on Lijiang go for something like this. They did try the Widowmaker last time on such fab, but it seems like he's pretty comfortable tonight on that Road Dog, so sticking with that. And a very tanky lineup. So Cyberman might have a lot of sort of meat to hide behind as he sends those rockets down, and we'll see if Grifflet and Light together are able to deal with that. They haven't switched off their triple DPS yet.
No, which is quite interesting, and especially Grifflet on the DPS is something that I wasn't quite sure to... I wasn't sort of expecting to see, especially after it didn't work out quite well in the first round. Would have expected him to move on to something like Winston. I'm not quite sure what their plan is here. I switched over back to Overwatch so you guys could see the chat. They're talking about possibly having a gentleman's agreement to go back to Spawn and retry it, because I mean I always got nervous there that I was going to miss a Cyberman boop. I had to quickly switch over to his POV. You know, it's very common for Pharos to knock a couple people off the bridge as they cross. But so I mean that initial engagement is super important. So I'll be interested to see what they do. It does look like they're going to unpause here though.
I really think they're like sort of training Nyanfer into this DPS role, and Grifflet potentially into a flex kind of role as well. Because it's really strange that when you have a Winston on the side of Noobs, that Grifflet isn't the one playing it. Now we see him swapping back to Ryan.
Yes, very much so. This is what I was talking about, seeing Grifflet back on his tank, and he does a fantastic job there already picking off. Oh, in fact, two there going down for the side of another one. Actually, a very good approach here by Noobs. This is exactly what they needed. I'm not quite sure if the pause aided that or not, or if that was just a fantastic approach there. And it does look like, unfortunately, Such Fab is going to get taken down the background. Oh no, he actually manages to heal up.
Yeah, and now that we're heading into this second engagement, Noobs is actually staggered a little bit. We've got the Genji coming in from the back, but it looks like the way of the ultimate advantage is going to go the way of Noobs first.
Yep, it does look like that, and I think I'm not quite sure what the story there was. I think the side, although actually a huge leap there onto Grifflet, I think they kind of Noobs moved off the point. They thought they were going to come through the bridge, and I mean, damage control said, well, you're not on the point. What's going to stop us from just walking straight on? And that's exactly what they did there. In fact, that was huge for damage control. They completely put Noobs in their place. I mean, Noobs are going to be very upset now with this. It's extra work having to take it back.
Yeah, it was a bit of a half-hearted push in my opinion, and now they've got so many ultimates to work against as well, even though they have a lot themselves. So huge fight coming.
Oh, a huge Earth Shatter there, shutting down two there by Grifflet. He's been hit with the Nano Boost. He's showing us exactly where he's meant to be. Grifflet, the Reinhardt main. Light now on the Genji, finishing off Such Fab with a quick melee to the face. It's just Pharah left. Genji v Pharah often goes in the way of the Pharah, but not this time. A huge dash there by Light, shutting him down. And I mean, it looks like we're just watching a base trade here. One takes and they come in with ults, and the next takes and they come in with ults, and then they're playing a little bit of musical chairs here.
Yeah, I really don't know which way to call this at the moment. But all I do know is that damage control really needs to get value out of this next push. They've got 4 ultimates in the bank, and if they don't use these effectively, it's going to be worrying. 70% already for Noobs.
Opening with the charge there from Z-Lord, although he gets Ana grenaded and put it in the corner very quickly, as now Nyanfer coming out with a soldier ult. Unfortunately, he also got hammered down, so the hammer downs here are actually really excellent at shutting these players down. Cyberman now managing to pick off Light, and like I said, we're playing musical chairs here with the objective as once again DC takes it.
Yeah, Z-Lord's having a good game, to be honest. He might not be getting the hugest of Earth Shatters, but at least he's not wasting them. He's using them on priority targets, shutting down the tactical visor there from Nianfo, and then killing him immediately afterwards.
Now this is huge. If SuchFab can knock him off, and he does it! 3 off by SuchFab. That is absolutely amazing. Really, really well timed. He knew exactly when they were coming on the bridge. Fantastic communication there by his teammates. This is huge. As you can see, he's giving us a nice little emote there. He knows he's got player of the game.
Yeah, not many times you get too much value out of a whole hog, but that's really one of the better ways to use it.
No, very, very much so here. As Z-Lord... Oh, he gets him off! My goodness me, the boops today are huge. Now NLT looking for his chance to shine, although I don't think he's quite going to get it as he pushes Z-Lord around a little bit, although not quite getting him. And Sheep deciding he doesn't want to be boops, he's just going to jump off. Like I said before,
yeah, pretty much 60% of the control point established for damage control, pretty much on the basis of people falling off the map.
Oh my goodness me, another one and another one! This is absolutely ridiculous. It's just one after the other. The boops this game, the environmental kills are something to behold here. Grifflet desperately trying, although he actually manages to get 3 there. Although he's just going to quickly get finished off by Dark, who might actually get another boop. This can't happen. No, okay, luckily Nianfo doesn't get booped, but it doesn't look, I mean, still the round is over. Another huge round there actually for the side of DC. They really, really are playing well.
I'm really surprised at the way this map is turning out, and of course damage control playing out of their minds at the moment. Z-Lord having a great time, and obviously such fab with the timing on those ultimate. But I think Noobs is being a bit reckless. I mean, there's got to be some point where they expect these sort of ultimates to come out, and you got to feel like they need to change things up a bit in terms of the way they're entering into the points, the way they maybe they need to start baiting out some of these ultimates a little bit more. I don't know, but they need to change something up very quickly, otherwise the map's going to go in DC's favor.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've only got one more point that DC has to take, and then round 1 is this. And they still aren't really changing up this composition. I'd assume that it looks like they were trying something new, and then if it wasn't working, we go back to what works. But they seem to be sticking with it. Nianfo is still running on the DPS, not on support like you normally, support or off tank like you normally see him. A huge sleep there onto Dark, although Z-Lord's charge looks like it's going to save him for a couple seconds, although Z-Lord unfortunately does get taken down by that. And now it does look like all they need to do is just march onto the point. A huge pick there by Nianfo, missing his rocket, but it's fine as Light takes down Grifflet. Grifflet's going to get confusing. It looks like such fab.
I wonder if Cyberman is actually going to choose to kill himself here. He's actually not, so let's hope for his sake he doesn't get picked off. He's very, that was
very
he just ended up stalling his own respawn there. I was worried for his life there. But yeah, that first engagement opened up by the fact that Z-Lord made a little bit of a questionable charge there, so he's had good charges previously, but that one didn't quite work out in their favor.
No, not at all, and it does look like now Luke's going to be looking for a nice hook, and there it is as he stops Z-Lord mid-charge. A huge, huge hook. It's now Grifflet who's going to be shutting them down right in the doorway. He hammers down, sending his flame strike into the corridor as well. And another huge hook, such fab getting hooked straight back into Reinhardt's hammer. This is huge actually, the team play is really coming out from Noobs. This is what we've been wanting to see.
Yeah, I think the Hog has made quite a big difference in terms of their pick-off potential. They really didn't have enough of it with the Winston previously, given that their target sort of focusing wasn't on point. So this allows them a bit of an easier entry to that, and now comes the big fight with all the ultimates.
Very much so, and it does look like they have brought out a... wow, what is going on? There's so much going on. It does look like they have now brought out Zarya for the side of damage control, which would be nice to set up with that Pharah.
What?
I don't know what's going on, but Z-Lord just went absolutely huge. Z-Lord picking off 4 there, all on his own. I mean, Light...
Okay, so I was watching Light there in the corner. He was battling an Ana one-on-one. He got the deflect with the sleep off and slept the Ana, but then instead of reloading and getting off the full left click charge into her head, he chose to right click her, and then he almost got soloed down.
I don't know what's going on here, although here comes Grifflet on the Hog ult here from the side of Luke picking off 1, make that 2 now as Zarya goes down. This is huge for Noobs, and now we're going back into the good old base race. I mean, base race though that Noobs are far, far in the lead of. And now with no ults on either teams, I mean, this is going to come down purely to skill for this engagement.
That's got to be rough for damage control because they won the previous fights after expending all of Noobs' ult, and now they just threw the point away again. Now they really have to work quickly.
Very sneaky positioning here from Nympho as he manages to get some wonderful shots
Oh,
out of
what a
Zlord,
charge.
although he finishes off the charge, actually finishing him off for Pac-Man and Zlord there, now going down. Nympho is going to get the drop on Cyberman, and now moving on to the point, it's just Such Fab left. I don't quite think like Such Fab can do much against an ulting soldier, as Dark and Such Fab they go down to Nympho, and with overtime ticking, I think that's going to be that.
Yeah, I mean, feel like damage control was in control towards the sort of just before that second to last engagement, and it was kind of strange how they lost the point so quickly there. I know they were split up a little bit, but it was a little strange. But that being said, they were kind of far down on the control percentage anyway, so it wasn't looking too great for them. I think now that Noobs have settled into a bit of a better composition, it's the tide is starting to turn, and let's see if damage control can respond to the pressure of this hog.
Now it does look like we've got a tactical pause coming out here. Now rules state that each team is only allowed one pause per match, so this will be both teams expending their pauses. I think the issue here is who was saying it? Griff was saying he's had 450 pings since the beginning, so they need to resort the router and sort that out. And in the couple seconds we've got now, we can discuss. I mean, what did the side of Noobs change there that won them that round? I mean, Lycalic switching off the
I mean,
Winston
it
onto
was
the Hog.
basically. I mean, the obvious thing is now that they've gone back to a 2-2-2 relative to the triple DPS before. So I think the issue comes in that when you're running a squishier lineup with the triple DPS and you're not coordinating as well as you would like, it really becomes difficult to break through really tanky lineups that damage control like to run. So they run the triple tank very often, pretty much almost all the time. So I think that's really where Noobs are struggling. Now, as soon as they swapped off to, I mean, the Tracer wasn't really doing much work for them. So they pretty much just swapped that around, sent Grifflet back to his tried and tested Reinhardt, and then just gave the soldier over to Nympho and picked up the hog. I think that's made quite a big difference, and I assume they're going to pretty much stick with that now. No reason not to. I think the onus is on damage control to see how they respond in this fourth round.
Yes, very much so. I don't think, well, at least I don't expect, well, we can see actually coming out the gate what the side here of damage control had chosen. That was Cyberman on the Soldier Zen.
Well, they haven't really had much time to do anything.
Oh, very true. But Dark on the Zarya is new. I know they brought him onto the Zarya just at the end of the last round, although he obviously didn't have enough time to build up an ult.
Yeah, look, I think it's not a bad option. I think it works probably more in the way they like to play because of just how regularly Zlord pushes into the opposing team with his Reinhardt. So if Dark is going to be, he's always going to have someone to bubble, to build energy with and save. So I think that's not a bad plan. Also, the fact that Pac-Man has gone back to Zenyatta now, I think they were running Lucio. Anna before. Now that he's gone back to Zenyatta, he played very well on this same version of the map previously, where they won the round. Yeah, we'll just have to see if they can exert the same kind of pressure with the tanks in the middle of the points this one.
Yes, and it does put us a little bit of a situation here. Grifflet as well as Griff both left the game, and now when they come back to join the game after the pause, it looks like they're on the wrong teams. So I'm not actually quite sure what the procedure is to fix that. I think they're both going to have to leave again and join in a different order. I believe the admin has the ability to show lobby without actually ending the game. I'm not quite sure. It looks like they're just going to do it this way.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It seems
It's a
like
little bit of a
it's
disaster
rectified
now because Grifflet obviously has the ability to see the team comp before they come out, but I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, I mean, if we assume neither team is really going to change anything, then I don't know. But yeah, I mean that's it's something we still need to see, still the preparation phase to come, and yeah, I think damage control need to go. Just pretty much stick with the Zenyatta the way they did the first time. There's a lot of pressure on such Fab though to get those pickoffs.
Yes, very much so. Now we're just waiting for them to sort this out. Now I know normally when you come normally when you unpause. Oh, there we go. It does look like we're unpausing. They take a little while to join the game. Well, they only join once it has unpaused. And it does look like we did.
Yeah, so I like the fact that they're sticking with this composition this time around. Ooh, they've actually swapped to the Winston.
Yeah, they swapped Dark off the Winston. Now, I'm not sure if that's because the Zarya was spotted or if they just felt like they weren't comfortable with that. But Winston is what they used earlier, and it did work for them, so we'll see.
I mean, I prefer the Zarya in this context just because of the point I was making earlier with the bubbles and the charges and that sort of thing. It is going to be helpful against Light's Genji, not allowing him to stick too long in the line of damage control.
To open the engagement. Yes, there goes Griffler charging into the enemy team. Light as well, getting right there. Huge hook here from Lykalok, shutting down Zilog. Look, Griff has left the game. I'm not quite sure what the story is here. Another huge hook coming in there. Sideman now, the game going in the favor here of the side of damage control. Although I think Dark's going to get shut down there, and yet again we have a pause.
Nice right click there from such Fab's hog just before that pause came out. NLT dancing around there on the Lucio and got picked off midair. Yeah, and unfortunately it seems like a player on each side is struggling tonight. We know Grifflet has struggled with his ping issues for quite some time.
It's interesting, it's both Griffs. Both Griffs are having issues tonight.
Yeah, it seems like we're due for a tag change on both teams.
So there's a lesson in chat, guys. If you want to increase your ping, just don't have Griff in your name.
No kind of bird-related names will be allowed here.
Ugh, no, this is really frustrating. We have it paused right on where I'm in server room, so all I can hear is of all the servers. I hope that's not an issue. I'm sorry.
I'm paused in the middle where the tick sound is right in my ear. Yeah, but just looking at that opening engagement, like I said, like the Winston, he got some ultimate charge, but you saw that he got picked off very quickly because he just pretty much got slept and then focused down. He didn't do that much work, and the Zarya actually would have been quite helpful there when Zilog charged in. So, you know, it's coulda, shoulda, woulda, but
yeah, they do have a chance now to switch it up.
At the very least, they restricted Light's ultimate charge to only 20%, which is unlike him. Last time we were on this version of the map, we saw he pretty much got his ultimate first, even though he didn't get much value out of it. It's always going to be a scary thing to go up against. But, I mean, that being said, the Winston can still work. Maybe he can help spot the Zenyatta and the Ana attack because they're a little bit more static compared to using a Lucio lineup.
Yes, very much so, and it does look like we're back in now. Like Luke, he's going to be looking for such Fab on the other hog. It's a bit of a hog v hog here, and we all know the story here. It's the first hog who hooks loses. Although such Fab saying actually, if you just get right in the way there and get right on his head, there's nothing that can go wrong. As he builds up his ult very quickly there, shutting down two, although Nyantha managing to pick on the Zenyatta in the background now. And now, I mean, Cyberman ulting there on like 40 HP, that probably wasn't the wisest decision. As it now looks like Nyantha is going to come in with his ult. He's going to show us how it should be done, as he manages to do actually nothing, just shooting the whole time into the Reinhardt shield. Maybe not also not there. Maybe not the best positioning here. Although he does still manage to take down both healers. No tactical visor needed there. In fact, finishing off such Fab as well. That was a huge play there by Nyinfo, and that's going to clear up the point for them.
Yeah, very scrappy there, and fortunately the Winston putting a lot of effort into focusing down the Reinhardt. Although they did finish him off kind of quickly, it allowed a lot of space for Lucio and Genji just running around all over the point. And another thing, like Z-Lord again dying very early onto the fight. They really need a shield.
And here they come out now. They're taking the high ground approach, the approach that Noobs tried earlier. Soldier's going to be sitting up here trying to get the picks that he wants. Although here comes the ult from Light. Can he get it in this time? As he manages to get one Pac-Man going down, he's now looking for the... I'm not actually quite sure what he's looking for. I think he wanted the Winston, but he decided Winston's probably not the best target for a Blade. Skipping him out, and it does look like they're going to clean up there with the help of Nyinfo and Lykaluk.
Yeah, so they actually didn't spend that many ultimates either. They still have a lot in the bank and pretty much coming towards 99-0 now. Going to be very tough for damage control.
No, this is huge for the side of Noobs here. They have all the ults they need. Lykaluk popping his. He manages to get a huge hook onto Griff there. Although such Fab coming in with his ult now, he manages to pick off one. Although I don't think it's going to be enough, especially with Nyinfo able to get behind him like he is. This Nyinfo built up his ult and he's going to pop it with nothing to shoot. Very well played there by Noobs. You can see this change up they've done. It's definitely what they needed.
Score 2-2.
Yeah, previously the Noobs lineup very squishy and they sort of got picked off one by one on alternate sides of the map. It was on actually this version of the map the last time where that happened, and now it's not really possible because they're playing in a tight ball with this Roadhog pick, and damage control just really struggling as soon as Noobs start to consolidate into a tighter unit. And I must be honest, I don't think this Winston pick is working for them.
Although now such Fab actually changing onto the Genji, he's going to show us something completely different. This is not what they're going to be expecting here for the side of Noobs. And we're going to see how well this works out now. I'm still not super keen on the one... Oh no, it does look like they do have the Reinhardt, sorry. Ooh, such Fab actually almost falling out the map there. That's not what he intended to do. As he actually gets taken down there very quickly by Light. Light saying, I'm sorry, not today, mate. Although Z-Lord actually does take out Light. This is quite big for them. There is a DPS player down for the side of Noobs. Unfortunately, that Sleep not catching anything. But I do think Noobs are going to be able to hold this here with 2 tanks on the objective already, and they have their healers there to help them.
Yeah, and I like the fact now that Dark has finally switched, so he's gone over to the Roadhog, which is a lot more power than they had before. It's the... I'm still yet to see the value of the Pharaoh though, so we'll see what he's able to do there. But
they're just gonna walk straight
really
up to the point.
getting too many
What
openings.
is this? Was Dark the
Okay,
distraction?
that
was
was
that
very
planned?
strange. Yeah, that was
Dark,
strange.
Dark was sort of sitting on his own way at the side there, and then the side of Noobs all went to go deal with him, and then DC just walked straight up, and it looks like it's going to work for them. Although Light actually does get the pick he needs, Nyinfo as well now, he's going to get another pick. I don't know, it's a bit mixed here. Though here comes, oh no, that's a Such Fab ult, sorry.
Such Fab is done. He is done, he wants that point.
Yeah, and he's actually got it, that was huge. I'm sort of confused as to what happened there for Noobs. I don't know why they left the point. It was just Dark sitting off on the side there.
They got baited hard. They knew they had to commit to kill the Roadhog, but I think they committed a little too heavily. And it was a little bit scrappy there, almost going back in favor of Noobs towards the end there, but Such Fab just bringing it out.
No, Such Fab completely shut that down now, and I think he's probably going to try get in the back of them now, not let them through here. They're going to see a little bit of they'll come in from the front and he'll go in from the back. Although not actually Grifflet, I'm not sure what that charge was. And they come down straight into a hammer down, although it does look like now it's Light's turn to redeem himself. But I mean, he's not going to be able to do anything when he's running straight into a thing. And Such Fab getting 3 huge picks there with his dash and his shurikens. I mean, Noobs are getting shown up.
Yeah, the only downside there for damage control is that they used 3 ultimates when they probably could have done with 2. But still, great Earth Shatter there, and followed up by the whole hog pushing one player off the map, finishing off the other 2, and then just converting to a team wipe. But now they're at the ultimate disadvantage.
Yes, and here comes in Nyampha's Soldier ult. He's not going to get shut down this time, as it does look like the Genji's going to have to run away there. Moving in swiftly onto the point, Pac-Man's going to be taken down in no time. I think he should just probably be jumping off the map here as opposed to charging Nyampha's ult as he is. Actually, he almost got Nyampha there with a lucky headshot. Pac-Man still somehow managing to remain alive. He actually stays alive, but this is insane actually. The dodging here by Pac-Man. That shouldn't have happened.
Oh, look at his health.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have health, it's just down to his shields.
Yeah. Okay, so they actually have a chance now. They've actually pulled some ultimates back.
Very much so. Here comes the Such Fab ult. We're going to see if it's going to be as exciting as it was earlier. He's looking straight for Griffith. Griffith going down. He knows how to pick his target players. It looks like Nyampha is going to be the next to suffer the blade, although he does actually manage to get out of there. Here comes in the ult and Light as well now. His turn. Once again, ulting into a Zenyatta ult, which is not ideal at all for him. Zilong going to clean up. It's just Light left alive on 31 HP. I mean, DC can very easily take this back.
Light has really been struggling with his ultimates tonight.
Goodbye, Grifflets.
And
Reinhardt, both
says
Reinhardts.
that's a worthy sacrifice. He who hooks first loses, and in that case, with the hog dead, it looks like it's going to be all she wrote for Noobs here. Damage
They're just
control
coming in
taking
one
it right
by
at
one.
the
Is
end.
this quick play? I can't believe Light actually managed to hold that for as long as he did, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The trickle is just too hard.
throws
Well
are
played
real.
there to Noobs. I mean, to damage control.
Oh man. But you see there, like, the momentum was rolling all the way in favor of Noobs, that third and fourth round of that map, and then all of a sudden they changed off the damage control, changed off the Winston, they got the hog there, they had so much more stability in their front line, they had the pick-off potential, even though they didn't get all that value out of all that much value out of the Pharah, the fact that they had the hog and the Genji doing so much work, boy, that was good to see.
Yeah, that was absolutely huge. Very, very well played damage control there. It took them 5 rounds, but in the end, I definitely think they came out on top. Some of those plays there, especially by Such Fab on the Genji, that was a very, very, very good change-up for them. I mean, I think almost securing them that victory there on that last point. There were multiple times where Such Fab just played out of his mind, shutting the entire push down for the side of damage control. I mean, Noobs, I'm so good at mixing up these teams.
Yeah, Light was well warmed up on his Genji, but I think Such Fab pretty much outplayed him towards the end there. Not only was he getting more high impact kills, he was getting much more value out of his ultimates, and it really showed in those team fights where Noobs had to expend a lot of ultimates, and often they didn't get the convincing win. That was the concern.
No, very, very well played to damage control. And now moving on to King's Row, we're going to see something a little bit different. Moving on to the payload map. I'm not quite sure what we will actually see different in terms of compositions. It's more playstyle. But we will probably be seeing that the strong tank sort of composition from both teams, especially on defense. I think Noobs might be tempted to bring out the triple DPS again on attack. I'm not quite sure, though. We're going to have to see.
Well, to me, this is pretty much a bread and butter Noobs map. This is one of their comfort picks. They beat Eden on it. They've shown that they can pull out a number of different strategies, whether it be the dive composition with the Winston and the Tracer and the Genji, or simply just that defensive posturing with the Roadhog. But yeah, also another one that they've tried recently is the Widowmaker. And Interestingly, both teams have opted for the Widowmaker in recent times. So maybe we'll get to see a little bit of that. But yeah, I would say Noobs probably a little bit more flexible in their options as we go into this. And they're going to have to try and be a little bit more disciplined than they were in the last map, especially or they're actually on attack first. So we'll have to see how that pans out for them.
I wouldn't be surprised if they move back to their old combo of, you know, Griff and Nympho as your tanks, and Light and Luke on your DPS. In fact, that's exactly what they are doing now. A Mercy coming out for the side of damage control. I'm a little bit interested. I have actually seen Grifflet play the... I mean, sorry, not Grifflet. Griff play the Mercy before, not Pac-Man, and...
So Pac-Man is pretty much, whenever there's a Mercy, I think these days he's getting it. He loves to play the Mercy, and especially on maps like this where he can dart around a little bit if the team sort of splits up and their defensive lineup, high ground, low ground kind of thing.
Yeah, you'll very often see a soldier up in a position like this or up here. That makes it very, very easy for the Mercy to get, you know, out of the fight if she needs to, and then back in to heal the tanks and whatnot. So
I'm gonna wanna see Cyberman using that positioning a little bit better than what he looks like he's doing now. He's gonna have to be standing in an off angle if he wants to get any value. Such Fab going for that sneaky opening road dog position, but I think in order for them to get full value out of this Mercy, they really need to make use of all the high ground here as well.
Very much so. But I mean, Mercy's ult really, really does change the way the fights are going to work, and especially at the moment where what we're seeing is sort of Noobs going in, fighting. Oh, as he manages to spot Such Fab there, that was huge for Luke. I don't know how he saw him, because I wouldn't even be able to see him, and I got a sort of an outline on the players.
And they're chasing him.
Yeah,
there was the call to chase him.
And they managed to, with Lucio's speed boost, they managed to make the jump this time. I remember there was a game a while ago where they didn't actually make that jump. And here we go, Luke taking the position of the other soldier. Dark getting taken down by Nympho and little Zarya v Zarya. Luke taking a very interesting route here, as it looks like they're going to chase them right back into this thing. Mercy going to be forced to retreat. She's not going to have her ult for the first engagement like she would have wanted. And this is going to be huge here. Z-Lord going down, and this is going to be exactly what they need. Luke managing to finish off Z-Lord.
Yeah, Such Fab got caught in a bad position, obviously, there. I think he should have just run into the middle of his team. I'll wait until this is done.
Yeah, I'm just interested to see what's going on here. He just looks like he's not having any problem at all on cleanup duty here. He did a very, very clinical first attack there.
Yeah, so what I was saying, so Such Fab made a little bit of a positional mistake there, error in judgment. He shouldn't have run down into the room because he was pretty much isolated from his team. I think the correct move would have just been to jump back in the middle, so if Noobs wanted to chase him, they would have run into the rest of the damage control team. And then, of course, Dark running in to try and save him, but he was too late and got focused down as well. So that's pretty much where the turn went for that first point.
Now we have to remember Pac-Man does have his ult this time, although he looks like he's going to be met with an ulting soldier. Priority targets at their best there. No Mercy ult coming into this engagement, and it looks like they're just going to pick them off one by... Well, actually, I say that, and it looks like the only person he did actually get was Mercy. But what they have done is push this payload way around this corner here, which is huge for the side of Noobs. I mean, this is actually an incredibly fast streets phase here as Roadhog goes down there.
Yeah, look look how far Cyberman and Griff were pushed back on the soldier and Anna there into the corner. They had the nano visor, but they didn't get anything out of it because, firstly, Grifflet just putting the shield up, pushing them back, and then as soon as he was done his business, Light coming in with the Genji with deflect.
No, it was absolutely huge. Although now they do have Such Fab with his ult. We've seen how useful, how effective he can be as he manages to hook one straight off the map. Goodbye, Grifflet. Goodbye, Sheep. This is absolutely huge here for Such Fab. And he's now going to break out his ult, so he's going to be hit straight by a deflect by Light, who actually managed to get two while I wasn't looking. And goodbye, Z-Lord, as he decides he's going off. Well, actually, I think Lucio booped him. And Pac-Man is just dying a little bit too early in these fights to be useful. I mean...
Oh boy. Yeah, I mean, we're almost finished this map and we haven't seen a Mercy revive yet. And
this is
not
very,
necessarily
very
all of his fault, but yeah, I don't think it's working out that well for them.
No, as it looks like he's going to switch over to try pocket the Genji here a little bit, given that damage boost that he needs. Coming into this... Oh, Light manages to clean him up, though. The target prioritization here is absolutely fantastic. It now looks like Griff's going to be the next healer to go down. I mean, they only are 2 healers. And it looks like they have actually brought out the D.Va here to just stall it a little bit, because this is going way too... What is Light doing? This is absolutely insane. We just heard the 15-player kill streak sound roll out on his screen. Light is having one
we get a bigger
hell
fight.
of a game. And it looks like Pac-Man, you can't hide in this corner because Light is here to find you. Pac-Man getting shut down once again, although he finally gets slept. His kill streak is ended there by Z-Lord.
Oh my goodness. Everyone just falling. Who actually got the credit there for the... Oh, the Lucio got it. So
Yeah.
at the very least, yeah, he'll be a little bit closer to the sound barrier on the next fight.
I
But,
mean, I don't think I've
yeah,
ever
now
seen as many
Such Fab got,
environmental
Such
kills.
Fab has got his Dragon Blade ready now for the next fight.
Very much so. Unfortunately, they won't have a Zarya ult to combo it with. I mean, they might. Such Fab actually in fantastic positioning. He's ready for them, actually. You can see him watching, ready, and it's going to be any time now he's going to go. Here he comes. He's actually been spotted here by Leica Luke, not quite working out in his favor. He's going to be dashed for the health. And here he comes, looking for Leica Luke. Leica Luke going to go down first. He's now looking for Nympho. Nympho manages actually to have his bubble up. Light doing fantastic work taking out 2. Actually, now it's just down to Such Fab to clean him up. Sheep in the weirdest position ever, but it's actually working out perfectly for him. Unfortunately, not getting that sleep. And here they are cleaning up Light. Once again, bringing out the Dragon Blade, and that's going to be enough to finish off the round.
Complete. Score 0-3. Switching side.
Yeah, it sort of took them... The payload was almost at the end of the last objective already before damage control started showing up in this map. And a little unfortunate that it took them that long. The Mercy pick didn't really work out because they were getting picked off and sort of pushed into corners of the maps. And yeah, what can you say? They got baited the first point. The Streets phase was a mess. They never really consolidated, and it's Noobs who are now in the driving position with more than 3 minutes to spare on that first attack.
Yeah, very much so. I think we're waiting for them all now to come in. And they're very much the same here for the side of Noobs. We don't see anything different in terms of team composition. But on the side of damage control, we do have Sideman on the Pharah and Such Fab on the Widow, although I don't expect him to stay on the Widow here. He's probably just going to see if he can get that first pick.
Felt alive.
Yeah, I mean, no reason why they shouldn't try that. They need to get the ball rolling quickly here, so if they can get the pick, why not? And he has done this multiple times before, so he knows how to handle himself on this first point attack. But look at the positioning of Noobs. Pretty interesting. Maybe they've seen him doing this before. Maybe they know how to respond to it.
Yeah, no one's going to be poking out their head, although actually NLT now does drop down. No one wants to poke out their head when they have a Such Fab on the Widow to deal with. And here he comes. He's really looking for that light.
That was very risky. For Anna trying to get off an initial shot against the Widowmaker.
Well, I mean, we know how that battle turned out. Anna lost her eye. But it does look like he's not quite going to get the worth he wants. He's just shooting straight into a Reinhardt shield. Noob's actually playing very, very cautiously here, which is actually exactly what they need. Sideman is going to be looking, he looks up at that top. The soldier has managed to move away. He's no longer up there. Such Fab helping to take out Griffin. It looks like NLT is going to be the next victim to Widow's shot. Sheep as well. Oh, there's the shot onto NLT that he needed. Light now, it's your turn next, although he managed to dodge around. Such Fab
I'm
uncontested
surprised he
though.
actually got a pick there.
Oh, a huge shot there onto Nympho.
I was actually surprised that Light managed to get any value out of it. Now that, it's only like a Luke left from the point now, help with NLT,
Oh my
but it doesn't
goodness.
look like they're going to
Huge
survive
by
much
Such
longer.
Fab.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah, so,
the
I-
side... Sorry,
Yeah, no,
just-
damage control, sorry, not damage control, Noobs, I think, overestimated their staying power on that first point. They were kind of well into that that objective, Grifflet's sort of way out beyond the corner there. By the time he had lost his shield and he couldn't get back, Nianfe's shield wasn't ready for him either.
This is sneaky here by Light as he tries to get the deflect, although he's not going to make it. Such Fab actually getting huge worth on this Widowmaker. Oh, sorry. Huge worth on this Widowmaker. And I'm surprised that he hasn't actually been contested. They've sort of had nothing to deal with him. I mean, they know, oh, well, as I say that, he gets shot at. They know exactly where he is. They should be shooting. I mean, he's getting so much. Although, here comes the ult here from Cyberman, although I think he's going to go straight into the Soldier ult here. Griff does have his ult, although he uses on the Zenyatta, which is exactly... Oh no, it wasn't the Zenyatta, he managed to get Kef Sealed, sorry. I got a little caught off guard there, I thought it was hit the Zenyatta. And damage control actually gaining impressive ground here. Dark does now have his ult, he is able to combo it with something like... actually nothing, he can't combo it with anything, no one else has their ult. And it does actually look here, Nianfe using his ult to clean up is here. Such Fab managed to get a pick there at the end, although it's not quite going to be enough.
Yeah, so I think this is probably the stage where they need to be swapping off Widowmaker. Streets phase is going to be a little bit more difficult at this point now that the road gets a little bit more windy.
Very much so.
Even though he might be doing some damage. They've kind of been carried by the other ultimates so far. Especially with the Transcendence, it really helps their looser playstyle. So yeah, it looks like they're still pressing on with it at the moment.
And here comes that ult here. I'm not quite sure if that was quite what they wanted. Light going absolutely ham here in the back line. He's going to take out... Oh, as he actually gets picked off there by Such Fab. That's a very important pick, but I mean, I say this pretty much every fight. It isn't going to be enough. As the side hero of Noobs, they still have 2 tanks and 2 healers, which is more than enough to fend off a couple DPS.
Yeah, one pick from a Widow mid-fight is not really good enough at this stage. They need something that's offers them more sustained pressure, and here comes the Soldier just as I say that, so a good swap out here. The Pharaoh hasn't really been doing much work either, so I think they really need to get up in the face of Noobs and let the Pharaoh like have more space to work with at the moment.
Very much so. I think what they were able to do there is they sort of... Oh, this is interesting here. Winston way in the back of them, and he's going to be hit with the mana boost now for Extra Stain and the bubble here. Although I don't think he's quite going to get anyone. Or actually, no, he pops his ult here. He manages to get a Soldier. He's now going to push them all back into the store. They're actually doing a fantastic job just stalling out. I mean, what do you do when you have an ulting angry Winston hit with a nano blade? I mean, an nano dart in your face? I mean, there's very little you can do actually. Definitely pushing the payload is not one of them.
Say that 3 times fast. And a nano dart. Yeah, so yeah, he built up his ultimate super quickly there.
And he's going to do it again, really although he gets set this time.
Yeah, I like the fact that they've that damage control swapped over to the D.Va now. They're going to have more staying power, and already they're getting a lot more out of this.
Yeah, Z-Lord getting a huge swing there, although Grifflet looks like he's going to come in and shut them down a little bit. Actually, no, it looks like Z-Lord actually finishing off Nianfe and Grifflet there. And it looks like they might be able to finish off this point, I believe. Noobs are still back in spawn. They're going to take a couple seconds to get back, although I do think they have maybe one last fight before it gets to the end.
Yeah, they should be able to contest once more. Unfortunately, Grifflet wasting his ultimate there when all the rest of his team are dead. Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, definitely with Winston jumping in, that's going to be enough. Although Grifflet actually getting caught way in the corner there. He manages to get, well, he gets taken down, although Luke now going big, taking out 2. He's going to be looking for Griff next. Griff actually way off his team. This is not where you want to be if you're Ana. This is kind of entertaining to watch. Fantastic sleep there, actually, and it looks like he's going to escape, but he's not with his team, which is where he needs to be. And that's going to be that in terms of that push. Now, with only 30 seconds on the clock, I think we're looking at maybe one more team fight.
Yeah, this is the last chance for damage control. They don't have much to go to that second point, but they're going to be working into 4 ultimates on the side of Noobs.
Very much so, and the light ult is never something to It's always something to behold, rather. As I say that, he gets a nice quad kill there. It looks like he's going to be looking for that
Lightning.
quintuple.
Huge.
Fireman actually picking off 2 at the end there, but I think it's all in. It's to
Yeah,
no
pretty
avail
much in
here,
vain
unless
at
they're
this
going to
point.
end it off.
Wow, how is he surviving so long?
No idea, actually, and Tracer's going to get back onto the point. Pac-Man's actually going to get back into delay. Could this be it? Could this be the dream? I don't think so, as he gets taken out there. Oh, actually, Z-Lord.
Oh,
Actually, what is this? No.
Does he have enough? No.
No, not enough.
We were hoping. Yeah, the dream was a little far-fetched.
Finals. 1.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yep, well played to Noobs there, bringing it back to 1 map apiece now, and this is a best of 3, guys. So we're going into the final map now next.
Play of the match.
A little, probably damage control, probably going to be a little bit disappointed in how they played there. I don't think the fair was the answer they were looking for on this map. I think it's just a comfort pick for them at this stage. I mean, his stats look a little bit inflated here, but of course he was going to be shooting at those tanks a lot, doing a lot of chip damage, but really they struggled to break through that line convincingly towards the end there.
I have to say I agree. I'm actually interested. I mean, they ran the Mercy on defense. I'm surprised that they didn't run Mercy with the Pharah on offense. I think that might have been a little bit more beneficial than just having the Pharah on her own. Because what I thought, well, what you could see they were doing, which worked very, very well capturing that first point, is Pharah would get in with Soldier and distract them enough that they weren't too worried about where the Widow was, and that just left Suchfab to click, 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 headshot, 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 and clean them up very, very nicely. Although, I mean, as soon as they sort of worked out where the problems were, they were able to focus Pharah, they were able to focus Suchfab, and I guess that sort of all just fell apart in the middle of the streets phase.
Yeah, just talking a little bit more about that Pharah though. So it's kind of weird that they don't pick the Pharah, but then they have the Mercy initially on defense, and then when they go on to attack, they pick the Pharah, but they don't have the Mercy. I mean, although the Zenyatta can help the Pharah in a lot of the time with the Discords and obviously the Transcendence constantly on him, but I mean, if you're so comfortable in playing Mercy and you want to play him monoplayer, then why not try and utilize that Pharah Mercy combination, which is quite frankly pretty popular in the meta internationally right now and doing work. You can be a lot more aggressive with Pharah. We saw how far Cyberman had to sit in those fights all the time, and he was really scared. If he had the Mercy at his back, then I think he could have done a lot more.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not quite sure what the story is here now. It looks like we're waiting a little bit to go into our last map, which is Watchpoint Gibraltar, which is a map actually we've seen Noobs do very, very well on. This is their pride and joy, I guess, when it comes to, this is the map they took off Eden not so long ago, very, very, very convincingly. So if they can pull another one of those, I think Noobs has this in the bag. But we have seen DC play absolutely amazing tonight, so I'm pretty sure we're good.
They're definitely stepping up their game.
Very much so.
Yeah, I don't think it's individually, like we pointed out a few small mistakes that they've made, positional mistakes. Obviously, you're going to have those occurring every now and then, but they seem to be gelling better as a team than some of the previous games we've costed them in, and I think sometimes there is a little bit of a struggle in terms of which compositions to roll out with, and switching quickly enough in response to what Noobs is doing. But overall, I think it's been pretty decent thus far. The fact that it's gone into a third map is testament to both teams playing pretty well at the moment. And please, before you say anything, Flaz, it is warm-up. Do not comment on the Noobs composition.
I was tempted to, but then I got distracted by the pharmacy from the side of damage control. So maybe they were listening to us on... maybe they were listening to us in between rounds there. It does look like they have changed it up a little bit. Unfortunately, Noobs not going to be running the Junkrat and the Orisa.
And the Orisa and the Sombra and the Torbjorn. No, I maybe don't
I
think
wish.
that's what they could do.
But it does look like they were talking about... They were listening to exactly what we were saying here. They've got the Widowmaker and they've got the Pharmacy combo. So they're going to be using the Pharaoh Mercy to get in the backline, distract them, which opens up plenty of room for the Widowmaker to just take pot shots at them, slowly whittle down the health. But then again, going up against a team like Noobs, where they have a very, very strong Reinhardt, and Nyampo is going to be doing an excellent job with those shields as usual. I'm not quite sure how well it's going to work. They're going to really rely on players being out of position here.
Well, I mean, at least they're finally trying. Like we spoke so much about the pharmacy. Now at least they're
Whoa, a
finally
huge shot! Sorry to cut you off there. Such fantastic flick there onto Sheep, which is insane. It's going to really set them off for the beginnings of this fight here. The farmer is getting into the backline. Like I said, he's going for the jump shot. Is he going to land it? He manages to land the jump shot. Unfortunately, it's not the headshot to finish him off. Such playing an amazing Widowmaker here. Now all they need to be doing is pushing the payload. NLT going down to the Widow as well. This is huge by Such It looks like they've dispatched Light to get right up in his face. A huge sleep there, actually. That might be what they need.
Oh, unfortunately, he got woken up there. They could have probably done some more damage to him there. But yeah, I think damage control got a little bit ahead of themselves there, and they only left the Zarya alone on the point, and that kind of thwarted their whole push because the Zarya got picked off solo by Griffith's Reinhardt.
Very much so. Yeah, it looks like Zedord thought he could go in there and decided very quickly that he was not interested. Such actually playing out of his mind. He's had some fantastic shots now with the tactical visor up, it looks like he's going to be able to get some more. Although, like I said, Light has been dispatched. He's right in his face. He's not letting him get any worth from his shots.
Okay, here comes the Graviton from Nianfo soon. Let's hope that Pac-Man is in a good position to revive them.
Yes, very much so. I think Pac-Man, you can see he's playing it a little bit back. He does have his ult, he does. And here comes the tactical visor here from Leica Luke as well. He's going to be looking for a couple, though Winston's going to be up in his face, absorbing the majority of that damage. Pac-Man, taking... Oh no, he goes down. I don't know what that dash was. I think that was a little bit mistaken there. And he's not going to be in any position here for the revive. And Nyampo on 48 energy, they're just going to finish them off. That was a very, very unfortunate mistake there for Pac-Man.
Yeah, that's really sad. We've been waiting for those big revives. Only one so far tonight. Also, another thing that was a bit costly for them there is that Griff preemptively used Sound Barrier when you generally want to be using it reactively. So, as soon as Nianfo saw that Sound Barrier come out from Griff towards the end of that fight, he just waited a few seconds and then unleashed that Graviton, and pretty much all the kills going their way.
Yeah, very much so. And here comes the aggressive Lucio Ultia combo with the Genji ult. In fact, combo with an
he's mad
as well. And he manages to get two there in the back, and he's going to be looking out for the last couple.
You can see him trying to stamp his authority now as the
It's
best
pro
Genji of this map. Yeah, not worried about using that entire Dragon Blade on just such heaven. They're going at it again 1v1.
No, this is very much like you said. Dark now going to jump into the back. He's going to be looking to get his what do you call it? The Graviton in. Although I'm not quite sure if he got the worth from it. I'm not exactly sure what he was thinking there. I know often Zaryas will get very close to the team to use their Graviton in case the Graviton gets eaten or something by a D.Va. But there was no D.Va here. I mean, that's a very Season 3 thing. That doesn't quite happen anymore. So by getting in close like that, he sort of just wasted his life though. But I mean, whilst I'm talking like this, they are actually pushing the payload a decent distance here. Dark getting taken down. You must
Such
remember.
disconnected.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm looking at him and he was doing so much work there, and then all of a sudden he just started standing still during a tactical visor.
That's horrible.
Yeah, that really sucks for them because they only have 14 seconds left on the clock and they've already expended their revive, so they had to really make this work, and now they've lost quite a few people on the point. Ooh, can they do it?
Oh, this is very, 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 very close. Actually, it's just Light and Nympho here. I mean, if Nympho can get his bubbles correctly and Light can build up that ult because he's already on 75%, they might be able to stall it out for a couple more seconds. But I mean, going up against Sideman, he has his ult. Dark will be able to bubble Sideman, and Griff will just speed boost around. I don't think there's too much they can do here. I think this is pretty much a guaranteed take here for the side of DC.
Yeah, 4 people dead on the side of Noobs. Kind of said before that because they were kind of scrapping and damage control were losing players, but they've actually already done the work before this pause was in effect, and now they just need to make sure that they can get the cleanup in action.
And like
actually using the tactical visor just for that.
Well, I think, I mean, the pause game, they weren't quite sure what the story was, and they were a little bit panicked. I mean, I probably would have done the same. As it looks like now, they're going to be very, very aggressive into this next phase. They're going to be pushing them right back. They say they do not want to be held at the first choke. Pac-Man's going to be back in the battle now on Mercy. We're now seeing a Mercy on attack without a Pharaoh, which is an uncommon combination, but I've seen it work before.
Yeah,
I'm sure they can sort something out.
My concern now is they only Mercy has to stick a lot with such fab on the Genji. Oh, it already gets picked off. Yeah, he had no room to work with there.
That's very unfortunate. I think Pac-Man's probably going to be considering changing onto maybe a Zenyatta or a Lucio. Actually, no, I mean, no, sorry, not Lucio. Ana. It does actually look like he's going to stick with it, come back in. The Chief just going absolutely ham here, not letting anyone do any damage to any of his teammates. And it looks like they've now chosen this forward choke to hold this. And they only have 1 minute and 33 seconds to hold it for. I think it is probably doable inside of Noobs, especially looking at their ult pool. I mean, we're definitely going to be seeing a Genji combined with Zarya ult here, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they have so many ultimates now. It's really going to be difficult for damage control, especially because they don't have much high ground control. They only have Light. He has so much pressure. Sorry, only have such fab. He's the only one who can get up to high ground, and all the pressure is on him now to get rid of the players at the top. But already, I mean.
Oh, Lycaluke getting taken down there, and the Soldier ult 1v1, although he does actually manage to pick off Sideman as well, so I'm not too sure what happened there. Dark a little bit out of position here, so he's going to get focused on, although he does manage to build up his ult, and there he uses it, taking down NLT. Griffith's going to be the next one to go down, although Light actually coming back in just the right time to save his friend there. Although here's the Mercy ult. This is the Mercy ult we were talking about that we needed, although I think actually it does look like it's going to get shut down very, very quickly. Actually, what is Light doing?
No, I think that was the right call to revive there, because they actually forced Noobs to use 2 ultimates in response. Now they actually have a chance to move the payload forward.
No, it was 2 ults that Noobs didn't get off quite well. Light panicked a little bit. I think he was a little bit out of range. A huge dash there, taking out 2. Such Fab going huge, re-establishing himself now as the pro Genji. I think Light has been shown up a little bit. And they might actually do this, because they've got 7 seconds left. If they can delay Lycaluke's spawn here, which it looks like they might be able to do. Yes, Lycaluke's delayed. And oh, Griffith actually does manage to get down Dark there. Nympho back on the point now. He doesn't have his ult, but I mean, he can still. The bubbles are going to really be useful here. Sheik going down here. Griffith going down. Oh my goodness, these dashes are insane. Another one there by Such Fab. And that's going to be that. I think I'm pretty sure they're going to get this point. So this Mercy is actually working.
Yeah, it's so funny how often these sort of strategies work out for damage control. You sort of think, are they going to even be able to remain in this fight? They start unleashing ultimates, and you're thinking, well, they only have 2 or 3 players left. What are they doing? And then all of a sudden, they get the reinforcements, and it works out well for them. And now Such Fab, with all that brawling, has another ultimate to work with.
No, Noobs are going to be very disappointed here. They were doing so well at holding the beginnings. Here comes another such fab ult. He's looking for one. That's two. Luke's going to go down. He's getting back. He's now got his Mercy to heal him back up. And he looks good. We've got Sideman bringing out the Soldier ult in the background. I'm not quite sure if the Soldier ult was all that necessary, but it does mean they're pretty much guaranteed to get it underneath the bridge, which means they avoid that second choke point. In fact, such fab bullying them all the way back into the spawn there.
You gotta feel like Luke was feeling the pressure there because he's been hunted down so often. He really should have dispatched with such fab there. Such fab didn't even use his deflect.
And here it does look like now they're going to be all bubbled up on the point, although it does look like they're going to be able to have the sustain. There's Darker than killing himself a little accidentally there. I'm not quite sure what happened there. It's a Grifflet.
Another big revive coming out.
Yes, and that's exactly what they need.
Comes Lights.
Pac-Man playing a huge Mercy actually here. This is perfect for them. Although Nympher actually going to get back there. Grifflet coming out the spawn, getting his hammer down. Light can take out such fab there. Oh, Z-Lord? Can you do? No, I don't think so. Well played there to damage control there. Taking it right down to the end. I mean, I thought Noobs had them right at that first position, but then out of nowhere they sort of brought it back.
Yeah, from almost not reaching the first objective to getting over 75 meters, almost completing the map. I think they'll be feeling pretty happy with that. Yeah, like, I was really worried, to be honest, for damage control through that hangar phase because of the fact that they had no high ground control, and Luke looked so comfortable initially with that soldier up on that on the ship there. But yeah, like we spoke about, that scrappy play, the never say die, and the the 2 to 3 man ultimates from damage control. Oh boy,
we've got a little bit of banter going on here in the chat.
Certainly delivering the entertainment.
Yeah, very much so. In fact, I think we could probably just go quiet and let them.
Yeah, if the chat was provided audio cues, we probably wouldn't have to cast for you. We could let let Noobs do it all for us.
It does
we need to set them up a little text to voice setup.
We'll sort that out for the next stream. Now it does look like they're going to be running the Mercy again. Pac-Man actually getting a lot of worth out of it. I was confused as to the pick earlier, but I'm actually very impressed with his Mercy player. He's had a couple of moments where he's been a little bit out of position, but I mean that happens. And I think it's very much working. Those 2 raises they got off really changed the fight for the side of damage control. Just the one sort of in hangar phase and the one right at the beginning. Both really well.
Such fab is really struggling with this jump. I don't know if
sorry, I haven't been looking.
I don't know if you want to watch. It's now his 6th attempt. There we go.
Oh, he did it! Look at him get all so excited. Happy pig. Yes, he's gonna be looking for this hook, as though it does look like he's gonna manage to jump right over it. Sorry, I got a little bit of a cough, but it does look like coming into now. This high ground approach is actually going to work out here for the side of damage control. You see they're jumping down just at the right time here in order to sort of hold them underneath the bridge. Likely can be forced to retreat a little bit here because it's quite scary going up against this many players in such a contained space. Z-Lord though getting actually melted here by Grifflet and such fab. He's going to be going down anytime now, although Pac-Man, this gives him an excellent chance to build up a huge amount of his ult. Healing these tanks. Pac-Man's going to have his raise in no time. In fact, probably going to have his raise before they even come up this ramp here. Huge hook there by such fab. Pulling off Griffith, who then gets charged here.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was the Rhine hook.
Now looking at, we do have Mercy raise. It's going to be used to bring them out here. Call it tempo raise, just keeping the tempo of the fight going. And I mean, this is exactly what they need. Oh, that was actually a very early Zarya ult.
Yeah, I don't think he communicated quite well enough with his team there. They were all way back in server room.
Yeah, and it does look like we're gonna see. Oh, sorry. Cyberman bring out his ult here. Not really catching anyone as he gets dashed there by Light, and it looks like they're gonna have to be forced to retreat here a little bit. Nympher does have his ult in there. In fact, he's gonna use it comboed with Light. And I mean, we're in for a massive
nice
brawl.
hook, but
actually, yeah, Light gets taken down by such fab.
That was a nice hook, but unfortunately I was a little bit too late. And yeah, sadly for damage control
I'll
there.
see DPS Lucio, they're getting right up in their face.
Yeah, sadly for damage control there, their coordination let them down on that first point defense. They had the ultimates to work with, but they wasted them, and you really can't afford to be doing that against a team like Noobs. Oh, nice hook, but saved by the bubble.
Yeah, a huge bubble there by the so you could see he was definitely listening to what was going on there. Pac-Man again now does have his ult. They're going to be looked at probably a nano boosted Reinhardt. I wouldn't be too surprised coming in here. Yeah, there it is, exactly like I said. Reinhardt coming in swinging now. Pac-Man needs to make sure he's way out of the fight. He does actually manage to hide, and here he comes in for the res. This is huge. He gets both of his DPS players back up. Although actually trapped in the corner there, which is not quite where they want to be. Z-Lord ZA managed to take out Sheep.
So split up.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Griffith does get taken down. Cyberman getting hammed there a little bit. Nyanfo's going to be the next to fall. So now Lyca coming out with his ult. He's way in the background. I don't think this was quite
There's a little flaring up here, guys.
Yeah.
Such Fab. Really looking to dispatch his European counterparts. Not having much luck so far.
No, and here comes yet another Griff. Actually, Sheep taking out Griff there. He's a triple kill actually from Sheep. It's not something you often see as Honor, as Grifflet struggles to charge against the ulting Roadhog, and it looks like actually they're going to manage to hold this. Yeah, they're going to be forced to retreat. Lucio's speed boost comes on and out they go.
Yeah, so good positioning from there from Cyberman up on the high ground. Nice that they're finally starting to use that. They could be using it a little bit more, to be honest, on top of the ship. But because of how far the payload moved initially, they weren't able to set that up. Let's see now if we get another big revive. Yeah.
It looks like he waited correctly. There's now Z-Lord going to come in, going absolutely massive actually. He gets managed to pick two. Pac-Man's at him back, and he doesn't even need his raise here for this fight. Likely, I don't think you're going to make it out here alive. I'm starting to think Noobs need a mercy on their side to get these reses off, because they just don't know what to do when they go up against a team so well positioned. This triple tank actually really upsetting Noobs here.
I think they just need to be a bit more careful in the way they're entering this objective. They some high ground control might do them good, so they don't really have the heroes to do it with at the moment aside from Light. Maybe they need to choose a Diva or a Winston to give them a little bit of help.
I somewhat agree, but I do
Because they
think
can really abuse that ship area.
Yeah, very much so, although that is sort of where DC is all set up at the moment. Now, it does look like we're going to be setting up here for a Nano Visor. Although Sheep actually not actually giving him the Nano Blade. I would have expected a Nano Visor to come out here.
Oh, Z-Lord picked off.
Yeah, as you said, Z-Lord picked off there nice and early, and they all sort of cornered in that hangar. They should be able to just run underneath and take the fight to the point. Here comes the nano-boosted soldier for the other side, though.
And the Mercy's down, no revive.
Yeah, which is huge. Griffith going to be going in swinging. Fantastic sleep there, followed into the Earth Shadow. This is exactly what Noobs need, and it looks like they're going to push this across the line. I think Pac-Man dying a little bit too early there.
That's so unfortunate, the little mispositional plays there from damage control. Oh, that's going to cost them so badly. Because Z-Lord just getting caught out of position again. And I don't know why he was so far forward. And then Pac-Man, like, probably not much he could have done there in that situation, because Noobs had a lot of momentum to work with after that Ryan pick. But yeah, now they're really going to have to grind to survive this last stage. 2 minutes on the board for Noobs to close this out.
I think it can be done here for the side of damage control. They are slightly in the ult advantage here. Well, actually no, I think damage control definitely.
Oh, such Fab doing work. Huge
work actually, shutting down Lyca there. Lyca actually had his soldier ult as well, so it's very important that he goes down nice and early here.
I wonder why Lyca didn't hear him. The hog lumbering on below him there, he didn't turn around at all for 1 second.
Yeah, it's interesting actually. So you can see Pac-Man's positioning here is rather aggressive, so it does, yeah, actually mind, he's gonna move back. Now, actually, they're going to be really, really scary here for the side of Noobs. Oh, actually, it hits the shield. This is not what Nympho wanted. They're going to bring out the Soldier ult as well as, in fact, the Genji ult here. As he comes... Whoops. Light actually got taken down by Griff really early on in that. I missed that. And Lucky Luke managed to get 2 for his time. Here comes the Mercy Res, though, which is going to stop this push in its tracks. Nympho's going to go down. That's a minute expended up already. I mean, damage control can do this. They used all their ults there for the side of Noobs. And all they've got is Sheep's ult left.
And because of how long that fight had gone on, Noobs only really have time for one more convincing, maybe a kind of overtime push after that if they don't succeed. But really, it's going to come down to the wire here, guys. This is as close as it can be.
Yeah, and both teams actually not having any ults. Light's managing to get in. He's on nice. He actually got healed up there, luckily. He didn't get so much worse for that ult. Such Fab's going to be looking to push people back. And it looks like he's going to get the Lucio.
Finally, they get the Mercy.
Yeah, and this actually looks like it's going to be in the side of Noobs here. Like we said, when you give damage control their ults, they are insane.
Well, it's overtime. They still have to push another 15 meters.
This
is going to be difficult for them.
This D.Va is holding it. And they're going to be able to come back, and here comes the Earth Shatter. Is Baby D.Va outside of a mech going to be able to do it? NLT looking to push them back, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. This actually might be the upset we've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. This could be it for...
Oh, there's the charge that they wanted.
For Noobs. Oh my goodness, damage control is going to do it. D.Va's back in her mech now. The stalling potential is there. Lucky Luke's going to be the last one on the point. He's going to be shut down in no time.
Oh no, it looks like this is going to be over. Grifflin has no more support. He's brawling it up to the very end. Now he has the support of the Zarya, but he's gone down.
And here comes the Genji coming in last second. Can he do it with the Zarya ult? Can this happen? If this happens, I don't know what I will do.
Where did those ultimates come from?
My goodness me. We do have Pac-Man does have his ult. I'm actually surprised he hasn't used it here. What's going on? There comes the Mercy Res. And in theory that should shut it down, but I think that Mercy Res was maybe a little bit too slow. They gave him time for them to get back in. He gets hammered down now though. These ults are coming out left, right and center. Such Fab, a triple kill. Well played to damage control. My goodness me.
Oh man, that was awesome to see. It's what we wanted. Last second brawling right to the very end, guys. And that overtime push just not quite good enough for Noobs. They struggled against that Mercy and those huge revives. And really just some questions should be asked around some of their compositional picks and their ability to deal with a tank-heavy lineup of damage control. And yeah, it's a great performance that's come out from them tonight. They win the finals of the Amber Showdown, even though it doesn't necessarily count for a land spot just quite yet. It proves to all of us that they are definitely a team to be reckoned with, and yeah, looking forward to
very much
what
so.
they have in store as they continue improving.
Very, very well played there to damage control. This is absolutely huge. This is exactly what I wanted to see. It was a long game. I mean, every single match came down to the wire. We had 5 rounds on the King the Hill style map. We had, I mean, by no means a convincing victory on the second map on King's Row. And then now this was absolutely insane to watch. Very, very well played to both teams. Both defending and attacking amazing. I mean, shout outs to Such Fab on the Genji as well as on Roadhog. He had some huge, huge plays. But I mean, definitely well played to everyone.
Yeah, and now that the Amber Showdown is wrapped up, I don't really know what we have in store for you beyond this. I think it looks like the Premier League log is almost at a close as well. So it seems like after that we might go into a bit of a lull.
Yeah,
I think
unfortunately,
this is,
if
that's the case, yeah, if that's the case, at least we saw a great game now to end this
ended on a
off.
high, definitely. But in terms of that, I know there are still ladder maps coming up, so you guys must just keep us informed as to when your matches are, and we'll do our best to cast as many of them as we can. Unfortunately, I mean, obviously we can't do tournaments all the time. thank you very much for everyone who tuned in. Thank you to the teams played. Thank you to DGL and everyone who's behind organizing all of this. And I think we will see you guys in the next one.
Yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Peace.
Peace.
How do you achieve your greatness?
There's no margin for error.
No room for mistakes.
You need total control.
Your success is determined by your grit.
It takes thousands of hours perfecting your moves.
And only the strong survive.
You think you've paid your dues?
You think you're ready to enter the arena?
Think again.
This is the TelkomDGL Gaming League,
This is where legends fight till the last second.
where the action explodes straight through your system.